Do you know what girls are more scared of than losing a man they like? They're more scared of having the man they like, but he doesn't like her anymore. So what will happen if I put a girl in those kind of scenarios and she doesn't act right or doesn't make the right choice? What I will do, instead of actually getting rid of her, I'll keep fucking her, but I'll fuck her different. So instead of, there's no kissing anymore. You understand? You understand?
She's not doing that thing anymore.
She's gonna feel it different.
Yeah.
And afterwards, she's gonna be like, "You don't love me anymore, do you?"
Where's this going?
You've threatened intimacy.
Yeah.
You've threatened intimacy.
And she's gonna get. It's no longer intimate on any level. She got fucked, and then afterwards, she'll be like trying to give me a hug. I'll be like, "Oh wait, I've got to go out." And I'm going to change on such a small level that will hurt her more than even losing you. The reason guys can't do that is because if they fuck a bitch again, they fall back in love like a pussy. I won't do that. But there's been scenarios where a girl hasn't acted quite right over something small, not a big transgression like cheating. Then I continue to see her, but my demeanor towards her changed. And my demeanor towards her didn't change much in day-to-day life, right? But it changed when we had sex. And she smelt it and she could feel it. And it hurt her bad. And she got her ass in line fast. He used to kiss me. He used to hug me afterwards. These small things. You go from all that nice shit to just fucking her like she's, but not in a good way like she's nothing. In a bad way like she's nothing. The real G's know what I'm saying here. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
And you'll speak to this about it's because in.
How do you feel about this so far?
Okay, so first of all, I'm confused as to why he's actually saying this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very, obviously coming from a female, it's just quite nasty for no reason.
Right, okay. Do you understand what he's getting at right now, even if you don't agree?
I understand the concept of how that will probably hurt a girl more. Yes, 100%.
Can you see a scenario where that would make you fall in line?
That would make you what?
Would it make you fall in line? So he's basically talking about how his girl has stepped out of line. She hasn't done something big, but she's done something to annoy him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he's withdrawing from sex emotionally, I guess. He's not kissing her, he's not hugging her. And that's something that she was used to before she committed whatever transgression it is that she committed. Now, if you were with a guy and you were seeing him for a while and he would kiss you and hug you when you were having sex, and then all of a sudden he was treating you like a side girl.
Yeah.
Would that make you want to fall in line, or?
No, that's just going to push me away. First of all, that's very childish. No, that is so childish. Like, you're a grown man. How are you saying you're going to do all these petty little mind games? Like, that shows that he has no communication skills. Because if you've got communication skills, you can talk about what's annoying you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, this is his way of communicating.
No, but it's just...
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all, by the way. I think this is wild. I think the kinds of women that he does this to probably only care about his money, and that's why they're willing to accept that. I can't imagine a scenario where me or any of my friends would be able to get away with that. And we're not pushovers, you know, like we don't have problems with women, but there's no scenario where I can even think of wanting to do that. Yeah. That's such a bizarre thing to do to someone. I saw Abba and Preach talking about this, and they were saying that this is the same thing that women do when they say, I'm going to withhold sex from you for, you know, whatever reason. It's the exact same thing.
I don't know, because... You
don't think so?
No, I'll tell you why I don't think so. Because sex is, say, an intimate thing, right? However, it doesn't always have to be. There's plenty of people that have sex and it doesn't mean anything. Whereas when you're like kissing or cuddling and stuff, that's more affection within a relationship that shows love.
Right.
Not sleeping with someone is, for me, it's not really a form of love. Some people might disagree, but... being more affectionate with your partner is more so that. That's why certain guys might not kiss someone unless it's their girlfriend, if they're just having sex with someone, if that makes sense. So for me, a girl not sleeping with a guy is more like, again, I do think it's childish, but it's not being more so, it's not being on a sensitive level.
But my point was that, like, some girls, you'll get with them.
Yeah.
And you'll do something, or you won't do something that she says, and the way she punishes you is she'll say, I'm withholding sex from you, which is basically what he's doing. He's saying, you did something to annoy me, so I'm withholding emotion from you.
No, I don't agree. I'll tell you why. Because I think naturally, when you fall out of love with someone, naturally you will stop doing all of them things, right?
Right.
So if you're withholding the affection and passion in your relationship, it's going to make someone feel like you have fallen out of love with them, or you just don't care anymore. Whereas
That's
not
what
giving,
he's doing.
Yeah, but that's mind games, and that's, I don't know if that might work for some women, but for me, that's going to push me away. That's not going to make me think, do you know what, I'm going to keep chasing someone who doesn't want me.
I think that would help on girls, that would work on girls that are inexperienced or have been in really bad relationships or have probably had a poor upbringing. But on your everyday person that I guess doesn't have like mental health issues, that's not gonna fly. I think it's only working with Andrew Tate because he's very rich and powerful, and he can sway women to do what he wants because of his money and power.
I think you're right in terms of, I think status has everything to do with it. So somebody could have a lot of status, say like him, and a woman is going to just put up with whatever bullshit he puts them through because they want to stay next to Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
That's it. It's more of an ego thing as well.
Because all women are programmed, and I want to say this. Maybe I'll be a misogynist now.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I said this in another podcast. I believe that men are more capable of independent thought because I believe that men are more evolved for battle and war. So if we had an idea which nobody else agreed with, we're more capable of defending it. We've evolved to saying, no, the sky's blue, it's not green. Okay, pull a sword out. We'll defend our idea. Women don't have the capability to defend themselves or their ideas, so they're going to go along with an idea they heard from somebody else in general.
So what do you think about that? Because I have mixed opinions on what you said, but I'll let you go first.
Okay. To be honest with you, I feel like there is an element of truth in what he is saying.
But based on what?
Based on women. Not all women, but most of the time, yeah, it's women not having their own sort of concept and idea. They are just jumping on whatever anyone else is saying, sort of thing. So, like, for example, this is going to sound like a really bad example, but someone might watch a football game, a girl might watch a football game with a guy, and he's like, oh, yeah, that shot was blah, blah, blah. And then she's in the office the next day with everybody in the office, and she's going to go, oh, yeah, that shot was blah, blah, blah. Just repeat exactly what.
Oh, so you're saying
you know
that
what I mean?
Women are more likely to be echo chambers, or they're more likely to echo what their partner is saying rather than come up with their own thoughts.
Yeah.
What I think he's getting at there is, I think what he's saying is that men are more disagreeable than women, which is something that I've heard Jordan Peterson say a lot. And my own girlfriend tells me that as well. She tells me I'm extremely disagreeable. My initial reaction to someone telling me to do something is to not do it. Her initial reaction would be to like go along and do it. And I don't think that's every single woman, obviously, but
yeah, I think it depends.
Majority of the time, the people that I come across with that are very hard-headed, they sort of won't back down from their ideas. It does tend to be men. I tend to get, when I'm in a conversation with a bunch of girls, not that I'm trying to like manipulate the conversation to go my way. I found that I am more likely to, well, it sounds like I'm manipulating them, but it's just that I'm not willing to back down on my point. And I found that in a lot of conversations, most people that are willing to back down on their points are women. And I think what he's saying is that the reason that they do that is because women physically can't defend themselves. So they kind of like just accept, which I don't entirely agree with this premise. I think it's a bit more nuanced than what he's saying, but I get the basis of it. Yeah,
I get the basis as well, especially with you breaking it down. So I feel like you are right, but also as well, sometimes that's just because men might say sometimes have a better way of articulating themselves, for one. For two...
Why do you say that? That sounds like you're saying women are stupid.
Nah, not stupid, but...
Got a misogynist over here.
So, sometimes, like, I could know what I'm trying to say. For example, right now, I don't know how to explain it and get it across. So then if you was arguing with me about something, I might just be like, do you know what, I can't even... It happens to me a lot with my podcast group chat, where they'll explain something, I'll give my point, and they'll be like, okay, we'll explain your point. And I can't explain it, but for the life of me, it makes sense in my head. Do you know what I'm saying? So then I just give up and I just don't explain my point.
Right, you think that's majority of women?
I don't know. It's hard.
Because what you're saying right now is, what you're saying is that women are not eloquent enough to get their points across.
I think they are. I think it depends, but I think women also being more sensitive characters as well, that they do tend to back down. So like men are the sort of people that could have an argument with you and don't care, go about their day. Whereas if you argued with a woman, she'll be upset and not want to eat, let's say, or do you know what I mean?
Because they're more emotional.
Yeah, so I feel like women being more sensitive and emotional, they are naturally just going to back down. This isn't all women though. This is, I feel like I'm really generalizing here. It's a handful.
But you have to generalize, right? In general, if you had a group of 10 people, 5 were male and 5 were female, who do you think are most likely to back down? Not from physical confrontation, but like a full-on verbal altercation, where you knew that the guys weren't going to hit you for saying things you don't agree with. I think what Andrew Tate here is basically saying is that men are willing to die on the hill that they claim, and women are just not.
Yeah, because men have ego.
Women have ego as well. Women have
Not
big,
as much as
especially
men.
these days. I don't know what the hell's going on with women these days, but something's
I don't
happened.
know. I think men's egos always get the better of them. And
No,
always
I would
take over.
agree. Largely, like
Yeah.
most of the time when fights like get completely out of hand with men, their ego's probably been hurt. But I guess you could say the same with women. It's just women don't get physical. They'll destroy you socially.
Yeah.
They'll key your car. They'll put your dog in a.
I've never known a woman in my life to key a car.
Really?
Never.
You really have to go on YouTube and
Yeah.
type it in.
This is it, but it's a big world with a lot of people, and there's all different kinds of people out there. Do you know what I'm saying? There's probably loads of psycho men that will go out and key cars as well.
I guess keying a car is not as bad as punching someone in the face. So
It's not, but I feel like men piss off women more than women piss off men.
what? Where did you get that?
That's my opinion.
What? Oh, okay, based on what?
I think it goes back to this whole sensitive subject of men just being a lot more, nonchalant and not caring and stuff, and women caring too much. So more often than not on a day-to-day, men might do small little things, but women are always going to get annoyed about it. For example, a guy in a house not taking the bins out, woman's going to get pissed off. A guy walking with his shoes in the house, the woman's going to get pissed off because she's the one that's probably been at home cleaning and stuff.
I've heard that before.
For example, a guy not messaging a girl back, she might get pissed off. Or
What?
Like-
but what's the context of him not messaging her back?
like, for example, if he's gone all day and he doesn't message her and she likes him, and then he messaged her back at like 10 p.m. at night.
But doesn't that work the same way?
No, she's messaged him. Let's say she's messaged him in the morning,
Right.
and he doesn't reply back till 10 o'clock.
Yeah, well,
she might
anyone-
get a bit
anyone-
moody about it.
Yeah, well, anyone would get moody about it.
I don't know. I feel like men are a lot more chill, and they're like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about it, babe. You was busy." Whereas girls will be like, "What have you been doing all day?"
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough, they are. But what was your original point that men piss off women more?
Yeah,
Don't you
because
think
women
it's
get
just
pissed off about all these little things, whereas men probably would not care about all these little things.
don't you think it's just that women like are more susceptible to being pissed off? It's not that we're actively trying to piss them off. It's just that you guys are so petty that we breathe and you get angry.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just the way you're wording it. It's still the same thing. Like, you're still just pissing off the girl. I get
Yeah.
your point of that she's choosing to be pissed off because she's petty, but you're still pissing off the girl.
Yeah, but the reason why she's getting pissed off is important, no? Like, for example, right, if I accidentally stepped on your shoe now and it was an accident and you got mad at me, I would say sorry initially, but if you continue getting mad at me, I would look at you and be like, "Are you okay? Is something wrong?"
No, yeah, I don't understand that kind of mindset in life. But I don't agree with people being like that. I don't agree with people carrying things on. Like, what more can someone do after they've said sorry?
Yeah, exactly. So women continuously getting angry that's on the. It's not that men are pissing off women. To your point, women don't know how to control their emotions. If we're going based on what you're saying,
Okay, but then I could take that into like biology. Like,
How?
women naturally have more hormones than men, and it is uncontrollable.
but are you talking about your period?
Yeah, and just in general.
Okay, but outside of you being on your period,
Yeah, I think girls are fine outside of their periods.
really?
Yeah, I do.
You think girls are fine outside of their period?
Yeah. I think it all depends on individuals.
It does depend on individuals, but you're saying that men piss off women more. It's not that men are out here pissing off women more. One, like we are more laid back in general. We get stressed about less things. I understand why women get stressed about certain things. I understand blood gushing out of your vagina is going to make life hard for you 2 weeks a month. But us being chilled does not mean that we're pissing you off more because you guys don't know how to chill out.
So all women are programmed. Women are programmed. They're either programmed by society as a whole, or if they're with a good man, they're programmed by the good man. That's basically where the programming comes from as a whole. So all women are programmed on some level. And I think with especially during sex, that's when women are most programmable because they're most vulnerable. Like if you get a bitch and she's just about to come and you start saying in her face, I'm going to cheat on you, you fucking slut. And she comes while you say you're going to cheat. She's gonna end up getting horny next time.
Is that real? Is that an actual thing? If you're about to bust and he says something crazy to you, will you associate that with an orgasm? The fact that you're stopping to think about it is crazy.
Absolutely not. No, I'm just like trying to digest like what this guy's actually saying. Like I actually just think it's so wild.
It's crazy. Like I said earlier, to me, this is exactly the same as when women are talking about ways to manipulate men sexually. There's nothing different here.
I think
it's two sides of the same coin. If you're talking
he's being really extreme though. In my honest opinion, he's being very, very extreme.
How is this any more extreme than the girls that say make him pay for everything because he thinks he's going to get laid and then withhold sex from him and keep withholding it and get as much as you can from him? Okay,
so in my personal opinion, that sort of situation sounds like the girl does not like the guy and she's just using him for what he can offer.
He doesn't sound like he likes her either.
Yeah, exactly. So then it's not so much of a way of mind games of trying to get someone to like you're saying, act in line. This is just literally just you, I don't know, just making sex complicated, if you want to put it that way, because all he's basically referring to is that. Do you know what I'm saying? Why do you need to play the mind games with her?
Well, because he's talking about, because I guess women do become more emotionally attached during sex than men do. It takes a little longer for a man to become emotionally attached.
So he's trying to have sex without her getting emotionally attached.
He's trying to basically manipulate her during sex so that she feels like she's done something wrong and she needs to fix her behavior so that she can get the kind of love that he was giving her before.
But then that means that he does actually like her then, and it's not just for sex. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, he's manipulating her anyway, but he's trying to like get her under his thumb completely. He's trying to let her know without saying it explicitly that you messed up and you're not getting the best of me, and until you fix up, this is what you're gonna get. Basically, I'm gonna treat you like some gutter trash. Basically,
I just think it's bizarre and extreme that he's going through the depths of sitting there thinking and plotting. Yeah, so you know, if I say this when she's about to orgasm, then that's gonna mind fuck her this way, or like
it is crazy to sit there.
Yeah,
it's mad to sit there and do
it's
that.
bizarre. Whereas a woman just being like, I'm not giving him some sex. It's not that deep. Like it's not that well thought into. This is a bit psycho.
No, because
my mind.
he's explaining it fully. But the kind of thing that would go through a woman's mind to think that it's okay to do that to their partner to get them under control is the same thing. They're just not explaining it in explicit detail the way Andrew Tate is.
No, I think for me, women know, that men love sex.
Right.
It's a well-known fact. If she knows that that's something that he loves and he's not being the nicest, it's like if he loves a cup of tea every morning and then he's done something really wrong to her, she's not going to get up and keep making him a cup of tea. So it's the same thing. Why should she keep giving him sex when she knows that's a part of the relationship that he loves? What Andrew Tate here is explaining is very, very... It is manipulative and it's very, I think it's narcissist behavior.
It's just long. It's long. Like if you were with a girl that made you feel like you had to punish her, wouldn't you just break up with her? This is crazy. I don't understand why you would even waste your time with a girl that made you feel like you had to punish her.
This is bored behavior.
This
is bored behavior. Like you're bored because you know what? If being Andrew Tate, the amount of people that would actually, go with him and stuff. Go and get someone else. Why are you going out of your way to emotionally damage and destroy someone because they've pissed you off? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been cheated on. Did I go crazy and psycho and do anything bad at all to this guy? No, I didn't. I walked away, kept quiet, and that was it.
The worst thing is that he is saying that this girl hasn't even cheated. He's saying that this is a minor transgression. This is just how he'll get her under control.
I know it sounds crazy. I know everyone's gonna look at me and go, Tate's talking shit.
Nah, you're
but
right,
I'm
bro.
telling you, it's
operant-
fucking true.
Operant conditioning.
Tate's talking facts.
It's true.
He's talking straight facts.
It's true, and especially sex as a man is a weapon you need to use. You have to deny it. You have to give it. You got to give it good.
Yep.
You got to give it bad. You got to use it right. And when I say there's ways you can fuck her like she doesn't mean anything in a way that she enjoys, and ways you can fuck her like she doesn't mean anything in a way she doesn't enjoy. The G's of the game know exactly what I'm talking
Lazy
about,
dick, bro.
and you could do that.
Yep.
This is really messed up because I want us to get to a time where men and women are not behaving like this. And that might sound unrealistic to say because there's many, there's Andrew Tates, but for every Andrew Tate, there's some woman out there talking the same amount of shit about men.
100%.
I don't think men. Andrew Tate says he said things that I've agreed with, mostly with like money and like the government and that. But when it comes to women, I feel like he's playing a character. I don't believe that this is who he actually is. This is so extreme and so ridiculous to say that about another human being. The girl that he's talking about has not even cheated. He's just talking about a minor transgression. I don't know how minor this transgression is. She could have put one teaspoon of sugar in his tea instead of two.
Yeah.
And he's thinking to himself, now I gotta punish her and make sure she does it right next time.
How many people are at this table and all of them are going, yeah, that's true, and they're all agreeing with him as well? It's not even just him right now. With how he talks about women, the way it comes across is that he's got some personal issues or had some bad personal experiences with women in the past. That's made him this way, because I don't think it's normal.
I don't think it's that. I mean, it could be that. I don't want to assume anything, but what I think it is Andrew Tate saw a gap in the market, so to speak, on YouTube, because you've got a lot of like feminist TV shows now, like The View, and I understand it because there's a lot of disenfranchised young men on the internet who don't know how to speak to women, don't know how to make money, and they don't really know how to get out of their mum's basement. Some of it is insightful. Some of it you can actually learn something, but this is extreme.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Like you can't treat women like this, and women can't treat men like this.
But I agree with you. It's we've gotten to a point in the generation where I think everyone does just want to play these sort of mind games.
Yeah.
But for what reason?
Ridiculous.
And then that's why it's hard for people to say genuinely find love now. But I just think the way he's talking about women is disgusting, in my opinion. He's literally referring to everyone as a bitch. He's like, and then you fuck this bitch, and it's actually really horrible to hear as a woman, I think, personally. And then I think it's even more crazy and bizarre that, say, women will watch stuff like this and then still be like, oh my god, it's Andrew Tate, I'm gonna get next to him. Like, you're setting yourself up to get treated like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they don't really care because they want the money, they want to ride in the Lamborghini. And Andrew Tate's aware of that. He said multiple times that he knows that the women that are with him don't love him. They love the lifestyle that he provides.
Maybe that's why he's like that, though.
He is like he's making money from behaving like this. He's found a gap in the market, and you have feminists to thank for this. You have feminists to thank for Andrew Tate being here, because they have been pushing their own bullshit on the internet for quite some time now. And not all of them, obviously, not all feminists, but you've seen the garbage online, the men are trash memes, all this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
It's created this divide between young men and young women, even older men and older women. And Andrew Tate and Fresh&Fit and all these guys have come right in, and they are they are on the other side of the coin to the feminists, but they're saying the same thing. They're just saying it for men. That's why I think he's doing what he's doing.
I kind of think it is a balance of both, sort of, say, men acting, say, this way, and then women acting in the way that they do. That makes everyone keep doing it and keep bouncing off each other.
Yeah.
And then it's one big spiral.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's going back and forth.
Yeah.
Gradually over time, if she ain't acting right, you can change the way you fuck a bitch to make her start to get insecure about he doesn't actually care, he doesn't actually like me. And that will shock them.
Yep.
You have moves you can make, but you gotta be perspicacious. You gotta pick up on her attention and you gotta act accordingly. And that's some dark triad shit. But I'll tell you, before I fuck a bitch, literally, I'm laying there giving a full status report of her last few weeks. I'm loading up the Excel in my head. Was the house clean? Was this done? All right, okay, I'll give her this version. All right.
That is so mad. This guy is lying there next to his girl and thinking about how he is going to punish her and which version of Andrew Tate he's going to get. Do you know, this is not good advice for young men. And a lot of people that, Andrew Tate, I believe a lot of the time he's joking with the things he says. I don't believe he believes the things he's saying. I don't believe you can get away with those things, even as someone as rich as him, especially putting himself out there like that. I don't think you can get away with that all the time. Maybe with some insecure women, but I don't think this is advice that young boys should listen to.
Yeah, look, I don't know how to say it without sounding bad, but to me that sounds mentally ill. I can't lie, because it's like you're literally sitting there like a psycho, plotting and planning at how you can make another human feel like shit. Because like he was just saying, did she clean the house that day? Are you crazy?
Yeah, it's mad.
That's bizarre. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah,
in my mind, that's not normal.
I don't think he believes what he's saying. I think he understands that he has found an audience.
Yeah.
And the worrying thing is that, like, I will listen to Andrew Tate. I can listen to Andrew Tate all day, and I won't go out and act on the things that he's doing. But there are guys out there who will literally act out what he's doing. For example, if you didn't clean the house and your man came home, and, you know, it goes from one extreme to the other. And I have to be fair, because, you know, I criticize people like Ethan Klein and Hassan and all that for their stupid takes on a wide range of topics. I know people that watch their shows and their brain cells are not better for it. Yeah. So I have to equally criticize this guy, because the information that he's given to young men, what he just said is mad.
Especially as well, because a lot of people are going to look at him, an entrepreneur, got lots of money, this, that and the other. So a lot of people are actually going to be willing to take his advice on board and be like, yeah, I need to be like Andrew Tate so I can have this lifestyle. Yeah. And he's influencing people in the wrong way. And then before you know it, we're going to have a generation of psychos everywhere.
There are elements of what Andrew Tate says that are good to take on. Some of the things he says are true. But when I think he's being extreme like this, I think he's taking the piss. This is bad. This is stupid. And this is loser behavior. Like, you can't do this to your partner. You can't do this, even if it's a girl you're seeing casually. I mean, you wouldn't like it if she did it to you, right? Any final thoughts on this video?
I'm just actually quite shocked. Like, because you know what? I've been watching a lot of Andrew Tate videos recently anyway. And I feel like a lot of the stuff he does say, he does speak a lot of sense. Like, he does, like, a lot of what he says, it makes sense. Even if sometimes I disagree with it, I can see his logic behind it. And it does have some element of sense and truth to it. But then watching this is really bizarre to me.
I think he's surrounded by a bunch of guys that are reaffirming this BS. And especially, he's on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Most people know who Fresh and Fit are right now. We'll watch some videos on them, because Myron says a lot of shit that I still can't believe he says it, but it doesn't make sense. And it might make sense because he's in Miami, and I know life is very different out there. But for the majority of the world, do not talk to women like this or treat them like that. No. That's all I got to say.
I just feel like, personally, I reckon behind closed doors, he really is like that.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, I feel like I can spot it from a mile off.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to follow
the
up
way
on
he talks with such passion as well. Like,
but
I don't feel like that can be made up.
You don't think? If you I mean, he was already rich before he became an internet sensation, so maybe he's not. Maybe it is really him.
But it's not about making money from it, but it gets people talking. I mean, we're doing a video on it right now, so it shows that it's working. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I think I said it to you the other day, no press is bad press or something. Basically, no publicity is bad publicity. So if people are talking about him, I might have said it to someone else. If people are talking about him, he's that's it. Whether it's good or bad, he's getting spoken about. So he is achieving what his goal might be to achieve right now.
Yeah.
Because videos like this are not going to help him get girls. So it's not going to be for anything other than to keep boosting his career and profile.
I don't think he's interested in girls at this point. I think he's interested in power. And he's wielding a lot of power right now. Mm-hmm, he's on everybody's feed. Andrew Tate is everywhere. Celebrities are talking about him. They want to bring him on the Andrew Schultz podcast. I've seen him on tons of podcasts now. You saw him with Cheyenne on Standout TV. He's everywhere. So it's not about women. It's about power. This is like Andrew Tate's taken over the internet. That's what he's done. He's taken over the whole. I mean, we're talking about him. We're going to do several videos on him because there's endless amounts of content on Andrew Tate.
People are giving him that power as well.
Yeah, like I said, you got feminists to blame for this. I truly believe that. The third wave feminists talking all that nonsense online about men, all these loose women and The View and all these stupid feminist TV shows. And I'm not saying that feminism doesn't have its place in the world, but the way women talk about men on the internet, I'm really not surprised that someone like Andrew Tate popped up. Because when you behave like that, someone the opposite of you is gonna pop up eventually. You're not always gonna be able to push your rhetoric without there being any pushback. And if you alienate a group of men, and like you see like these Twitch girls and these Instagram models, how they talk about men, just the way people talk about men on the internet in general, the way women have been talking about men for the longest time. I'm not surprised that Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit exist.
I don't feel like it has all spiraled out just because of what women have been saying about men. Now men are reacting like this because I feel like men have done stuff in the first place to make women act the way they have.
That's a fair point as well.
Yeah.
But two wrongs don't make a right.
Of course,
as we've seen here, like now we've got Andrew Tate, and there'll be someone else will come along, maybe another super feminist or whatever. But this is just going to keep spiraling.
More of the story is don't take Andrew Tate's advice.
We'll get back to that later.